We may begin.
Welcome to the Cannabis Regulation Commission meeting. Today is Thursday, January 15th, 2026, and the time is 2:03 p.m. And we are in the council chambers located at 200 North Spring Street, room 340, Los Angeles, California. I am President Thyris Mason, and I will be chairing this meeting. The following commissioners are present: Commissioners Bierman, Farmby, and McGovern. I'm going to go over some housekeeping items before we get started, and Happy New Year. This meeting is being recorded. Therefore, we ask that when addressing the commission, you please speak close to the microphone and only one person at a time. Please state your name each time you speak. That also applies to commissioners. This meeting is being live streamed. Individuals who wish to watch and listen to this meeting may do so by visiting cannabis.lacity.gov. We will be following the agenda order for the most part. Agendas are located on the table by the entrance door along with speaker cards. Individuals who wish to address this commission must fill out a speaker's card and specify which item or items you are going to speak on. Individuals can provide public comment or comments about a specific agenda item. Please fill out a speaker card and turn it into Irene or Josie. When I call your name, please come up to the podium and clearly state your name. We will consider general public comment and single or multiple agenda items together. Therefore, speakers will have 1 minute for general public comment and 1 minute per item, with a maximum of 2 minutes for multiple items. In total, an individual speaker shall be limited to 3 minutes of public comment per meeting. We ask that speakers state whether they are providing general public comment and or which other item or items they are speaking on before they begin to comment so that staff can appropriately time them. If the speaker does not specify which items they are speaking on, 1 minute will be provided. Representatives from neighborhood councils who have filed a resolution or a community impact statement with the city clerk, which relates to any agenda item, will be given time to speak during the item itself. Please provide a copy of the filed statement or resolution to the commission executive assistant. Any neighborhood council representative speaking on behalf of their neighborhood council must provide a letter on their letterhead stating the neighborhood council's position on the matter. Absent any neighborhood council documentation, comments may still be provided during the public comment period. PowerPoint presentations presented to the commission today will be posted online and made available to the public via DCR's website within 2 business days. Please turn off cell phones or place them on vibrate so as not to disturb the proceedings. Please be respectful. Disruptions will not be tolerated. I am designating authority to issue warnings for public disruptions to the city attorney, and today it will be Emily Wada, in order to preserve decorum and help maintain order in the meeting. If you disrupt the proceedings, you will receive 2 warnings. If you continue the disruptive behavior, you will be asked to leave the meeting. We will now open general public comment and single or multiple agenda items. Speakers can address the commission on non-agenda related items that are within the jurisdiction of the commission or provide public comment for today's agenda. Ms. Treviso, are there any speaker cards?
No, we did not receive any speaker cards.
Okay. Well, in that case, both the general public comment agenda item and the single or multiple agenda item periods are now closed. We are on to item 2, and this is an announcement again that elective office, neighborhood council, and other public entity presentations. If you have filed a resolution or a community impact statement with the city clerk, which relates to any agenda item, that you will be given time to speak during the item itself. Please provide a copy of the filed statement or resolution to the commission executive assistant. Any neighborhood council representative speaking on behalf of their neighborhood council must provide a letter on their letterhead stating the neighborhood council's position on the matter. Absent any neighborhood council documentation, comments may still be provided during the public comment period. We are on to item 3, which is commission business. Commissioners, you should have received an advance calendar, and it has our future meeting dates. Please take a look and advise if there are any planned absences.
Good afternoon, this is Commissioner Farmby. I will be absent on February 5th.
Thank you.
I'm sorry, Commissioner Farmy, can you repeat that date again?
Good afternoon, this is Commissioner Farmby. I will be absent on February 5th.
Thank you.
This is Commissioner Bierman. It's nice to be back. And I will not be here on February 19th.
Thank you.
Thank you. Any other known absences? Okay, that will bring us to the approval of minutes. We were sent the minutes of November 20th, 2025 for review. Do I have a motion to approve the minutes?
I'm sorry, Commissioner Mason, this is Deputy Attorney Watson. Just wanted to note for the record that Commissioner Bierman has left the room.
Okay.
Thank you.
Do I have a motion to approve the minutes?
This is Commissioner Farmby. I make a motion to approve the minutes.
This is Commissioner McGovern, second.
Thank you. Mr. Beazle, please call the roll.
Commissioner Farmy. Commissioner McGovern.
Aye.
President Mason.
Aye.
The motion passes.
Okay, we'll wait for Commissioner Bierman to return. We are moving on. Commissioner Bierman has rejoined the meeting. We are moving on to commission announcements and updates. Commissioners, are there any announcements or updates? Hearing none, we're going to move right on to future agenda requests. Are there any requests for future agenda items? Okay, and please note that this particular item can be reopened during the course of the proceeding should something tempt you to do so. On to item 4, we have a report from the Executive Director, Ms. Garakian.
Thank you very much. Happy New Year, Commission, and Happy New Year to the folks in the audience and folks on our live stream. I only have, next slide, please, team. I have a few updates. Just want to give a brief overview on some of DCR's efforts in 2025. Last year, we launched a new Access Cannabis site, which is an improvement to our licensing portal and reorganization to our website to ensure it's easier for our constituents to maneuver. You can access that website from our current website at cannabis.lacity.org, or you can go right to the Access Cannabis site. We also partnered with the Office of Finance to give our licensees and record holders flexibility to make payments online for various services. We conducted a equity verification window, which verified about 35 more people, giving them access to our learning materials, free and low cost legal assistance, and access to our business coaches, as well as access to apply for SUN uncapped license activities. This past year, through various comm efforts, we including emails, texts, personal calls. Roughly 86% of our licensees submitted renewal records, though the renewal window remains open until February 28th. Keep in mind that if you've not renewed your record at this point, you must cease operating, as all licensees expire on December 31st this year. Last year. In 2025, our equity team conducted 21 separate educational webinars targeting our equity community. Also in 2025, this commission met for over 47 hours across 13 meetings and approved 66 annual licenses, denied 3, and continued 3 more. Lastly, in 2025, our customer service team reduced wait times by 65% from 2024 to 2025. We have also transitioned from a open counter to a virtual appointment process. You can go online and make appointments to meet with a subject matter expert in our department, either virtually or in person, for about 20 minutes at a time. I think folks have found this very, very helpful, as opposed to just walking in to our public counter. Next slide, please. Licensing and renewal update. I just briefly touched on this in the slide before. This is a little bit more of a deep dive. 726 people submitted timely renewals. 32 have submitted late renewals, totaling about 758 record renewals. We were able to issue over $4 million in fee waivers to 251 social equity individuals for multiple activities. And lastly, for those who have not renewed, again, keep in mind you should not be operating, but you have until February 28th to submit your documentation and payment for renewal. And that is my presentation. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Ms. Garakian. Time spent, that cumulative count, that was a lot. Thank you for that. Commissioners, any questions for Ms. Garakian?
Hey, it's Commissioner Farmy. Happy New Year. I wanted to know if is it possible to kind of get like an overall, an overview of the overall social equity program in terms of how it relates? I think that would be good, in terms of the commission to kind of keep us, keep us on track. That is a lot of what this is about. So to hear specifically about the social equity program and where it's at, I think would be very helpful.
I'm happy to provide a report at the next meeting, sir.
Thank you.
Any other questions, commissioners? And thank you, Ms. Garakian, for reminding us of our late night hours here. We are moving on to, I'll be taking item 6 out of order at the request of the department to consider a continuance, and that item is DCR core record number 320051. The applicant is Sweetgrass Enterprises LLC, located at 2181 Venice Boulevard. Mr. Solis, please explain why we are continuing this matter.
Thank you very much. This is Senior Management Analyst Ryan Solis. DCR is requesting a continuation of this item to a future meeting, either in March or April. We were recently made aware of some ownership dispute issues going on with this application. And additionally, they have not yet, as Executive Director Garakian just mentioned, they have not submitted their renewal for 2026 yet. I think continuing until March or April would allow us time to officially wind down the 2026 renewal cycle and give DCR a clear view on what the future of this application is going to look like. So, if they had renewed their record at that time, we would hear the application before this body at that time. Or if they had not renewed the record, the application would expire and close out, and there would be no need to hear the application later.
Hi, this is Deputy City Attorney Emily Wada. Mr. Solis, would it be, or is the department withdrawing its recommendation at this time then?
Withdrawing the approval recommendation.
Well, it may be advisable, I think, to withdraw the recommendation so that it's clear here that it's no longer a matter for the CRC to consider. I think we could alternatively do it that way.
As long as we're still getting attenuation to a future date,
Sure. So basically yes, I think you can.
then that's okay. That would be okay with the department.
Is that clear, President Mason?
No.
I think what the department would like to do is it's made a recommendation. It's before you. However, given these new circumstances, it's going to be withdrawing that recommendation. Therefore, the CRC will not be having jurisdiction to approve or deny it today, and it could be agendized on a future calendar.
But this is President Mason. Okay, so help me understand, because if the department doesn't have jurisdiction today, how will they regain jurisdiction in the future?
The commission, you mean?
The department.
No, the department has jurisdiction.
Okay, the
I'm just
commission
saying,
doesn't.
if they were to withdraw their recommendation today, it would take it out of the jurisdiction of the commission.
Okay.
I would defer to the preference of the department here. What you'd like to do is ask for the continuance or to withdraw your recommendation.
Preference would be to continue, as originally mentioned.
Okay.
Okay.
Okay. I understand. Ms. Treviso, commissioners, do you have any questions about what just transpired?
I do. This is Commissioner Farmy. for Attorney Wada, just so I understand, the request is the question you imposed was around whether the recommendation was to be withdrawn versus the continuance?
Correct.
Okay, and can you explain like what the rationale is to make the distinguishing factor between withdrawing versus the request of the department for the continuance?
Well, I don't know, and then perhaps we should also explore whether the applicant is here today. So normally when you can request a continuance. However, in some cases, the CRC just, you have the authority to do as you please. And so as long as there's the record, you could decide to hear the case no matter what today. And so I was just proposing an alternative route for the department if it wanted to proceed that way and not ask for your permission for a continuance, but rather withdraw their recommendation.
Understood. Thank you.
However, I would like to note that Mr. Solis has given you the reasons why he's asking you for that continuance. And so hopefully you will consider those.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Thank you. Mr. Vizo, are there any neighborhood council or elected office representatives on this item?
No, we did not receive a speaker card.
Okay. Is the applicant present? No?
We did not receive a
Receive
speaker
speaker
card for them either.
Okay. Well, then is there a motion to continue?
Commissioner Farmby, I make a motion to accept the department's recommendation to continue into March or April. Was there a specific date?
If we could do March 5th, if that works for the commissioners, and we have quorum and everybody's gonna be attending, that would be okay.
I have a question before I make the motion. Final, is that date available?
Yes, March 5th is available. That's
Okay.
all right.
So, sorry, Commissioner Farmby, just to solidify the motion. I make a motion at the department's request to continue into March 5th.
This is President Mason. I'll second. Mr. Rizzo, please call the roll.
Commissioner Farmby, President Mason,
Aye.
Commissioner Bierman,
Aye.
Commissioner McGovern.
Aye.
The motion passes.
Thank you. We're returning to the regular agenda order, which brings us to item 5, DCR for record number 320058. The applicant is 730 Holdings LLC to approve an annual license for storefront retail commercial cannabis activity located at 8122 North Sepulveda Boulevard. Mr. Rizzo, are there any neighborhood council or elected office representatives on this item?
No, we did not receive speaker cards.
Okay, then at this time, we will hear from department staff.
Thank you very much. Good afternoon, everyone. This is Senior Management Analyst Ryan Solis presenting item number 5 for DCR. DCR core record number 320058 is associated with 7030 Holdings LLC, located at 8122 North Sepulveda Boulevard in the Mission Hills, Panorama City, North Hills Community Plan area within Council District 6. I'm going to apologize in advance here for my lengthy response on this item. There's a lot of information to get through. But at the Cannabis Regulation Commission hearing on September 4th, 2025, DCR recommended issuance of an annual license for this application, which the CRC did vote on and approve. On October 7th, 2025, City Council vetoed this decision by the CRC pursuant to City of Los Angeles Charter Section 245. In general terms, this section of the charter allows City Council to veto board actions within certain timeframes. For a more detailed explanation, I'm actually going to ask City Attorney Emily Wada to provide some additional explanation on the Charter Section 245 process and what it entails.
Good afternoon, Commissioners. This is Deputy City Attorney Emily Wada. Thank you, Mr. Solis. Commissioners, as Mr. Solis mentioned, you're hearing this particular application today for the second time. And that is because under Los Angeles City Charter Section 245, after the commission voted to approve this application, the city council took a vote and they decided to veto the action of this commission. Because of that veto, the matter is now remanded back to the commission for your decision. And that board, quote, shall have the authority it originally held to take action on the matter, close quote. And so this means that you should consider this application again and anew. However, upon the same requirements that you were always bound by in the municipal code in section 104.04A and 104.06 and the rules and regulations. So you're deciding this case anew, second time, but your decision-making process should remain the same. Do you have any questions?
Commissioner Bierman, I have a question. So are we able to know about the city council's rationale for its decision and consider that?
Absolutely. And those questions, if not already included in Mr. Solis's presentation, you can ask the department about afterwards.
Thank you.
Any other questions?
None.
Wonderful. Thank you.
Thank you. Mr. Solis?
Thank you very much, Emily. Yeah, and I am going to move on now, as Commissioner Bierman mentioned, to go into specifics of the different concerns that were raised by Council District 6. The information I'll be referencing throughout my reading right now can be found attached to the report for item number 5. The motion is under Exhibit D. The motion submitted by CD6 outlined 4 main concerns. First of all, there was a liquor store that's housed on the property and has had issues with public drinking on or around the site. Secondarily, a nearby park that faces issues with public drinking as well. Thirdly, the location being the site of an illegal dispensary approximately 8 years ago, which at the time that it was open had issues with littering of cannabis products. And lastly, a daycare center being located approximately 350 feet away from the proposed business location. All of these concerns were previously considered and reviewed by DCR when the recommendation for approval was made back at the September 4th CRC hearing. But I will review and explain DCR's review for each item so that everyone has that information again. Regarding the liquor store that's housed on the property and has had issues with public drinking on and around the site, liquor stores are not defined as a sensitive use in the Los Angeles Municipal Code 10501, and therefore are not subject to distancing requirements. Therefore, the presence of a liquor store within the 700 feet of the property is not grounds to deny this annual license application. Additionally, there was a representative from CD6 at the September 4th CRC hearing, and they did mention that the loitering has calmed down due to LAPD presence. And they also mentioned that there has been no citations as of late, was the quote from LAPD related to the liquor store. The second part of that regarding the nearby park that faces issues with public drinking as well. The park does appear in the City of Los Angeles Department of Recreation and Parks database as a public park. And it therefore does qualify it as a sensitive use. However, that park does not fall within 700 feet of this business location. It's approximately 1,000 feet away from the property, and therefore does not, violate the municipal code. Thirdly, regarding the location being the site of an illegal dispensary approximately 8 years ago, this property has not been marked by the DCR Compliance and Enforcement Division as a location that cannot have an application submitted, for reasons such as being shut down for illegal or unlicensed commercial cannabis activity, utility shutdowns, and other items. The prior operations of that cannabis business predate the creation of DCR as a city department, and therefore the city does not have any authority over what was going on at that time. The last point there regarding the daycare being approximately 350 feet away from the location. This daycare is located within 700 feet of the property. However, the definition in the municipal code of a daycare center as it relates to being a sensitive use is a child care or infant center, child care center or child care center preschool licensed by the State of California Department of Social Services that is not located on a residentially zoned property. This daycare center specifically does not satisfy either of those requirements in that definition. This daycare is located on a parcel that is residentially zoned. And this daycare center does not appear on the California Department of Social Services database as a licensed care center. Therefore, as I mentioned, this daycare does not qualify as a sensitive use as defined by the municipal code. For some additional context, I'm also going to explain what was discussed at the hearing on September 4th as well. There were 2 public comments made regarding this application. They had a lot of similar concerns that were raised by CD6. Residents mentioned the prior illegal dispensary, the presence of individuals experiencing homelessness, and proximity to the daycare and the park. There were some additional concerns mentioned during the public comment at the September 4th hearing. That's related to mention of proximity to nearby elementary and middle schools. There are no schools within 700 feet of this business location. There are 2 schools located approximately 1,500 feet away from the business location. And secondarily, there was mention of a lack of outreach to the neighborhood from the applicant, including a lack of posting of the notice and the hearing on the business premises itself. DCR did receive confirmation and proof from the applicant that they emailed their neighborhood council, and the neighborhood council did confirm receipt of that email. And lastly, on that, DCR did receive confirmation and proof from the applicant that they did post the notice on their business premises. Continuing on, a representative from CD6 did also speak at the hearing on September 4th. They also submitted a letter of opposition. Items they mentioned were the liquor store, the LAPD shutdown of the illegal dispensary, and no citations recently being provided by LAPD related to the liquor store. All things that I've already touched on today. The applicant himself also spoke at the hearing on September 4th and mentions he understands and hears the concerns of the community and is doing his best to keep the business property professional. Lastly, the commissioners discussed at the meeting on September 4th a unofficial request for there to be some bridge building between the applicant, the community, CD6, LAPD, kind of all parties involved. That recommendation, there wasn't like an approval with conditions or anything formal like that. But nonetheless, DCR did follow up with the applicant to see if there had been any bridge building efforts, since that meeting had happened. The applicant did state to us that he had attended a local neighborhood watch meeting on September 16th to help address any concerns the community has or may have in the future. Mentioned he spoke with community members, provided his contact information, and encouraged them to contact him directly if they have any concerns. He also signed up for the neighborhood watch email list and offered to participate in additional meetings and even host a walkthrough of the shop to help show the community firsthand that he is a responsible operator. That's going to conclude my summary of the information related to the Charter Section 245 and the concerns raised by the council district. I'm going to now continue on with the standard information that DCR provides for each application that we hear before this body. The applicant was issued temporary approval by DCR with an effective date of September 30th, 2025. Since that time, the applicant has completed all requirements for the issuance of an annual license in accordance with LAMC Section 10406. The applicant currently possesses a state annual license to conduct retail and on-site sales, which is active through September 29th, 2026. The applicant is subject to the requirements of LAMC 10420 for the social equity program. The virtual community meeting for this application was held on August 19th, 2025. During that meeting, members of the public were afforded 2 minutes each to speak about the application. DCR also accepted online written input through the date of the community meeting. DCR did not receive any oral testimony for the application, and DCR received just one written comment, which was in favor of the application, which was submitted by an owner of the business. stating that this business is committed to maintaining a professional and compliant cannabis operation that will provide safe and regulated access to cannabis in the community, create local jobs, and contribute tax revenue to support city services. The report for this application includes all oral testimony provided on the August 19th community meeting under Exhibit B, and all written testimony for reference is provided under Exhibit C. On December 3rd, 2025, DCR provided notice of the second Cannabis Regulation Commission meeting by mail to all owners and occupants within 700 feet of the property line of the business premises. Notice was provided in accordance with the municipal code. On January 6th, 2026, DCR conducted a compliance inspection. No deficiencies or violations of the rules or regulations were found, and therefore a notice to correct was not issued by our Compliance and Enforcement Division. The licensee was notified via email on January 13th that the compliance inspection had passed. Based on the department's analysis, the proposed project is consistent with the criteria for a Class 1 and Class 32 categorical exemption pursuant to CEQA guidelines. Since the project meets all the requirements and none of the applicable exceptions apply, it is appropriate to determine this project is categorically exempt. DCR has thoroughly reviewed all information and concerns provided in Council File 25-0178, which houses the motion that I mentioned earlier, and did not find any information that changes DCR's recommendation made at the September 4th, 2005 CRC hearing. DCR is again recommending the CRC approve the issuance of this annual license. That concludes the department's presentation for this item. If the commission has any questions, I'd be happy to discuss in further detail. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much, Mr. Solis, for the thorough recount of the September 4th meeting. Commissioners, are there any questions for the department staff?
Afternoon, Commissioner Farmy. Has there, to our knowledge, has there been any additional meetings with the community since the initial neighborhood watch meeting took place? The bridging sort of conversation that we had discussed?
None that I've been made aware of, no.
And then, sorry, President Mason. Second question is around the concerns of the council district regarding what was raised. Are they aware regarding the requirements being met around, whether it's around sensitive use or any of other elements that you had mentioned?
DCR staff have been in contact with Council District 6 to explain all the same things that we're explaining today. Help make sure we're all on the same page.
Thank
you. Mr. Commissioner McGovern, my question is, has any new information come to light since the 245 motion about this application?
No, we haven't been made aware of any new information.
Okay. And then I know they recently, last week, passed their inspection. Is there anything notable or any additional information about the inspection you can share?
No, other than that it passed. So there were no corrections for them to make as a result of that inspection.
Okay, thank you.
This is Commissioner Bierman. I just have one question, which is when the city council was deliberating the motion, was there any suggestion that any of the legal requirements weren't being met by the applicant?
Can you rephrase that question?
Sure. I'm just I just really want to understand the rationale that for the city council taking the action that they took. And it seems like, as staff has recommended, all of the requirements have been met. So I'm just trying to wrap my head around what the stated rationale was.
We actually have a member from CD6 here today.
This is
So
that's my next.
I would rather not speak on their behalf if she's present today. You can learn all about it.
This is President Mason. Were there any other questions from staff? Okay. The CD6 representative. is here. Hi, can you approach the podium, please? So we are closing item 2 and reopening item 1 so that we may hear from the CD6 representative.
Hello,
Hello.
good afternoon.
Please state your name for the record.
Jasmine Aguiar. I'm the cannabis consultant for Councilmember Imada Padilla's office.
Thank you. Okay, Commissioner, do you have a brief presentation or can we just jump right in with questions?
Go ahead and jump in with questions.
Okay.
Our presentation was asked to be presented by the department in terms of what the council member presented in that veto.
This is Commissioner Bierman, thanks for showing up today. Yeah, I mean, would you be able to just, I know we heard from staff, but just take a couple minutes and talk through the rationale for the veto? Like,
Absolutely.
from my perspective, I understand some of the concerns that we've heard, and I'm just trying to square those with sort of the requirements for the application.
Absolutely. So there's two different things we looked at with this particular license. There was the technical application process, which, you know, they went through the process and everything checked off. And then there was the immediate concerns of the community. As DCR mentioned, there was loitering, there was previous illegal operations within that location. And there's existing problems within the liquor store that's located next door. As we went through the process beginning in September with the initial hearing that took place, we did work with the applicant to reach out to this community, and the council member thought that the best thing to do to address these concerns with the community, which are very valid, right? We have community members that have been there for generations and have children, and children have to be subjected to these nuances. And within our code, there really isn't input within council that allows council to give an approval or give a denial to these types of licenses. So a veto was the only option to be able to voice that opinion and voice the concern of the community.
Hi, this is President Mason. I thank you for that. I have a few questions. Is anyone available to walk me from, let's say, September 4th through the present in terms of any safety issues, public safety issues that may have come up since we approved this license?
The safety issues that the community has reported has been the loitering with the liquor store. And I believe there's some reports, I don't have them in front of me, but there are some reports that were issued to LAPD in terms of the loitering. We found packaging and consumption of both alcohol and cannabis within that that perimeter, specifically within the park. Now, we can't put that on the applicant and say that that there's no sales coming out of there at the moment, but the existing problem is that that part is being used for the consumption of these substances. So the community now thinks that because it will be accessible, just like the liquor store, it's going to increase that loitering and that illegal consumption within that park.
Okay, thank you. And what steps have been taken by the council office or by LAPD to cure the loitering in the park?
So there's a couple of things that do take place on an ongoing basis. The neighborhood council hosts a neighborhood watch meeting on a monthly basis where there are monthly updates on any reports that have come through for that specific community. The operator did get a chance to attend one of those meetings. I can't tell you the exact date, but it was between September 4th meeting to the end of last year that this happened. I was there with him at that meeting. We wanted to make sure that we understood the community concerns and that we address those concerns. We know that with legalization, a lot of destigmatization follows what legal operators are doing. And it is the council's job to address that. We also asked that the operator host different community meetings, which he has done that outreach to be able to make the community a little more comfortable. But again, as I mentioned, it hasn't been reflected just yet because those illegal consumption has been happening and continues to happen within that park radius.
Have there been calls to, this is President Mason, have there been calls to LAPD about the consumption or the loitering at the park?
I can't tell you the exact number of calls or the exact number of reportings that have been going on, but there is a record kept by LAPD, and it is presented on that monthly basis at the neighborhood watch. So it is something that we can ask LAPD to forward over to this body.
Okay, thank you, Jasmine. I don't have any further questions right now.
All right, thanks for being here, Commissioner Farmby. I'm going to ask the same question as the department. Has there been any outreach or any meetings or discussions with the applicant around your concerns since the neighborhood watch meeting that took place?
Absolutely. We've have our field deputies who have the direct communication with the community, communicate directly with him, as well as the legislative director in order to be able to understand what kind of outreach he has been doing so that we can communicate that over to the community.
Okay. And can you describe, this is Commissioner Farmby, and can you describe for us, like, the outcomes of those discussions?
I think the outcomes have been positive communication. I think that there is a good faith of operating from a legal operator. There's already challenges to get to this point. But again, the stigmatization around legal cannabis, what there's, hardships and already bad stigma around that community are hard to break.
Understood. And then from your perspective, in terms of the community, can you describe for us in terms of where the community is at this moment today around the applicant business and in the district?
I think at this moment, the community does not want that dispensary there. They've been very advocate around getting it shut down, not only the dispensary, but also the liquor store, because I think that the liquor store has been an ongoing problem, but there is a difference of how cannabis and alcohol are regulated in the city. So those two things don't translate. But the community itself wants both of those businesses out of that area.
Thank you. This is Commissioner Farmby again. And can you, just for the record, can you describe for us the connection with the liquor store to the business, to the cannabis business?
I don't know if there's a relationship. As far as connection, they're in that same, they're in the same building per se, same parking lot. They're different addresses. I just don't know the nature of the landlord or the leases and all that, but they are next to each other.
Got it, understood. That's what I figured. And then my last question is that from your perspective, what would be the resolution to this matter?
I mean, it is definitely up to you, this body, to either approve or deny. From the council member's perspective, it is her job and duty to uphold the community's concerns and their wishes. At this moment, their wishes are to remove this operation from this area. And the council has done that through this veto, asking that it is revised, it is denied because of the community concerns that, unfortunately, because it doesn't fall into the technical side of denials, but it is a huge concern for what is happening within that community.
Understood. Thank you.
This is President Mason. Does the council member recognize that we may not have latitude to issue a denial based on community concern?
Absolutely. I mean, from all council members, I can say that Councilmember Imelda Padilla is well versed in the application process, right? So having a consultant specifically dedicated to this matter shows her interest in making sure that this is done correctly. And she knows the technical process behind what needs to happen to get to an approval. Very different than other municipalities within our jurisdiction. Other municipalities have merit-based systems where council and the mayor do have a say in the matter of what gets approved. That's not the case for the city of Los Angeles. Our approval process is very different. So she relied on the tools that were available to her to have her voice and her opinion heard through the concerns of this community.
Thank you. Commissioners? Any other questions?
Thank you again.
Thank you.
We are moving on to item 3. I do have a speaker card from the applicant. You may approach the podium at this time. When you approach, please state your name for the record and your relationship to the applicant. You will have 10 minutes to address the commission. Mr. Beazle will time you once you begin speaking.
Hello. So I'm here again. Thank you for your help. DCR said a lot.
Sir, can you please state your name for the record?
Oh, I'm sorry. My name is Henry Saugjan. I'm the owner of 7030 Holdings LLC, located at 8122 Sepulveda Boulevard. And thank you again for helping me out to protect myself and my business in a way that everything I hear is about the liquor store. It's not even about my store. Proof of that, as I said on my first attendance over here, and I think I kept my promise, and a proof of that is a 5-star review in Google, which is not even 4.9, not even 4.8. It's a straight 5-star review out of 92, 5-star out of 92 reviews. Before, at that place, all over the building was a lot of graffitis. They're all gone. Nobody's drawing on the building anymore. So less littering. I cannot speak about the park because my store is not, that far. But by seeing what's going on over there in that park, it's even dangerous to cross it because there's a lot of tents all over the park. A lot of homeless people walking around and dragged out. I don't think I wish I can help them, and I'm ready to do that if somebody tells me how. But at this moment, I'm here just to hear your questions, and I'm ready to answer. Thank you again.
Thank you, commissioners. Any questions for the applicant?
Hi, this is Commissioner McGovern. Thank you for being here today. I appreciate that you attended the neighborhood watch meeting back in September in response to community concerns. And I wanted to ask if you or a representative will be willing to attend future neighborhood watch or other community type, neighborhood council type meetings in order to address any concerns.
And that is definitely will happen if they will call me, or even if they not. I told them that Panorama City is my neighborhood as well. I live not far from it. I live on Woodman Street, 7417 Woodman. That's border of Van Nuys and Panorama City. So that is my community, and definitely I will be attending, and I know I will know whenever they will make them because I'm in their email thread and I can see it.
Thank you.
This is President Mason. Good to see you again. Happy New Year. And you've had conversations with Councilmember Padilla's office.
We spoke with Alice and Jasmine. Yeah, Jasmine.
Mhm.
We met at the meeting and everything was fine. And I never actually, tell you the truth, is there was only two people who were concerned. Everybody else, they came up to me and asked for the discount. Like that was it,
Well, and this is President Mason. I get that. I think that sometimes people might feel a little intimidated, might not want you to know their faces, that they're not on your team. I'm interested in hearing what you said to Councilmember Padilla's office in terms of persuading them to be on your team and to allow your business to remain in the area, why it should be there, why it would be a win.
Honestly, I did not see they were against it. I'll be very honest. They were very cool. What I said to all of them, because I had my time in there to speak, I said, I'm here, I'm ready. Like it was mentioned over here before, I offered another meeting in my shop around the building to show them how we operate. I offer my services. I personally went to speak with those two people that were against it. And I understand them. I feel them. I have 3 kids, as I mentioned before. But if any operator would be like me, keeping and sweeping and talking, please go see the reviews. Just spend 2 minutes, read about us. Everybody's happy. We are greeting people with hugs and kisses. We don't we smile to them. We're not greedy there for the money. We are actually for the community. We want to take drugs out of the street, bring them into the community, and so they can medicate safely. They do that with the product that's been tested and good product, instead of just going on the streets and take whatever drug they don't know they're going to take it. And I truly believe my sister-in-law, she passed away from a cancer. I truly believe that this actually helps a lot of people, not only as it's a medicine. That's how I actually was part of the reasons why I stayed in the industry. But answering your question, I'm sorry, I tried to talk to them, and I offered my services. My doors are always open. Even right now, I told DCR members, you guys are welcome to come in anytime. As was mentioned before, inspection was passed, and Mr. Cairo Hunter, he said, I never seen any inspection being smoother than this. He was out of there in about 7 to 10 minutes. Because like as I mentioned before, this is a second dispensary with a 5-star review. I know my job. I'm not a beginner. I know how it needs to be done.
Thank you. I have no further questions. I appreciate your response. Commissioners to my right.
It's Commissioner Farmby. Thanks for showing up here. Barring the technical aspects of the application process, okay, is there anything that you've thought about or willing to do to engage the community concerns around what they've raised, not only today, but prior to this meeting?
100%. As I said, this is my neighborhood, and I wanted to make it clean, safe, and whatever concerns they have, I'm there to help them, help myself as well.
Is there anything, oh, sorry, this is Commissioner Farmby. Is there anything specific based on what you heard from the district's representative that you are willing to address? I mean, I heard your answer, but I just wanted to know if there was anything specific that maybe you thought about that you want to share.
I changed the name of my store because of I listened to the community. Before I had Hannah, now it's just Off Green. So I removed Canna name. I did not put any weed name on it, you know, so people think I'm selling weed. I would just change the name because of that.
Okay, thank you.
Commissioner Behrman, nothing? Okay. I have no further questions. Thank you.
Thank you very much.
Commissioners, it is time for deliberation.
Commissioner Farmy like to state my opinion on this. I think kind of based on what we've heard from Ryan and staff report regarding the application process and meeting the requirements, it seems to me, at least from what I'm gathering today and what we've heard a few months back, that the licensing piece seems to be in order. It doesn't seem to me, I haven't heard anything to think differently around that today. But what I would like to just kind of throw out for the body and for the rest of the commission here is that I think that whenever community concerns come up, I think that it's important for us to take those things into consideration, regardless of whether they meet.
My apologies for the interruption. President Mason, I believe there was 2 speaker cards and there was a second part to their presentation.
Oh, I am so sorry. There are 2 speaker cards. And hold your thoughts.
Okay.
Ms. Ramirez, I wasn't aware that you were going to speak. At first I thought, oh, he brought his daughter, but
President Mason, I just don't recall how much time was left on their,
I'll allow 5 minutes.
say that again.
5 minutes.
You have 5 minutes. Please state your name.
Crystal Ramirez. So I
Thank
live
you.
in the community and I was hired, so I got a great, opportunity to work. I keep hearing about the liquor store, but that has nothing to do with the dispensary. I've been living in the community for years now. I myself am a mom of 3. I may look young, but I've been working with them for 3 days. So I've been getting closer to the community. There's other people besides just our neighborhood, and everybody is happy. I personally haven't gotten no complaints like coming to the store, somebody personally, we don't want you here. The main concern I keep hearing is, the child care center, the park. I haven't took my kids to that park in a year. There's an encampment there. They haven't done nothing about that. There's prostitution on Sepulveda. They haven't done nothing about that. But a dispensary is the problem. We self-medicate, we use this recreational drug that's legal, as opposed to, taking something that's gonna, I don't know, alter your character, like liquor, like it just doesn't make sense how I guess it does make sense. There's some people that are against it, but maybe they're not open. If there's another neighborhood watch meeting, which I haven't heard of since Easter, to be honest, I'm willing to, go in and talk with them too as an employee from them and see if we persuade or get more people to, you don't have to accept it, but you could be okay with it. That's all I have to say.
Thank you. Let's make sure I get your name right. Thank you, Ms. Ramirez. This is President Mason. Thank you for being here. So in terms of neighborhood watch, because I heard neighborhood watch and I heard neighborhood council, and I don't know if the 2 are conflated. Most neighborhood councils have a public website. They meet once a month. So that opportunity for engagement is there at minimum once a month. I'm gonna return now to Commissioner deliberations, and we left off with Commissioner Farmacy.
All right, let's just say there was two speaker cards. Yeah.
We're done.
Oh, okay. Thank you. Commissioner Farmacy, just to keep it simple and plain, to me, I think that the community concerns with the applicant and businesses coming into the community, I think that that is important. I think that it's important to be heard. I think it's important for an outlet for folks to be able to voice their concerns and be able to work with the business that's coming in. And so it sounds like from what I heard from the representative that this process was a means to do that based on the options, right? But what I also heard is that the representative was clear around the councilwoman's understanding of the applicant process. And from what I heard today, it doesn't seem to be anything that would lead us to denying the license. But I do, for the record, would like to say that it is important for our communities, for businesses are being established, to be heard, right? I mean, you're coming into a community, even if you're a part of the community, at least to listen, to hear, to be a part of the conversation and to engage, I think is important. So that's what I wanted to say about this. And I think that as a body, it's important for us to be grounded in that.
Thank you. Commissioners? Is that
Commissioner
right?
Bierman, I just second everything that Commissioner Farmaby said. I totally agree that this should be an avenue and a space to think through all the implications of approving a license and to be sensitive to concerns from the community. And so I think it's important that we take the time and space to hear all the concerns and to consider the concerns. And with that said, I wasn't hearing any requirement that isn't being met by the applicant. And so while it sounds like the community or certain members of the community may not want the business, that is not a grounds to deny the application. And I think if it's our job to assess whether the requirements have been met, I think from what I'm hearing, it's pretty clear that they have been.
Thank you.
Hi, this is Commissioner McGovern. I agree with my colleagues about the importance of community input, and regardless of the outcome, I think we always consider those thoughts. And I do want to say, I think it is unfair to impute some of the issues of the liquor store onto the cannabis store. And, we heard reasons why, maybe other reasons why the park nearby is unsafe. And so I just want to make sure that, we don't impute issues that they have no control over. And under 104.4, there are no reasons to deny this application. And it seems there was an acknowledgement from CD6 that, the technical side of the requirements were all met.
Thank you. This is President Mason. So I'll start by saying I respect Councilmember Padilla's decision to 425 this on behalf of her community that elected her to represent her. And in that respect, she did do the right thing to be that voice for those whose voices couldn't be in this space today. What I recognize is that on the one hand, we have regulations, and on the other hand, we have the real world. And it seems to me, what I've heard over the last two meetings is that this is an environment that already had two plagues. One was the liquor store, and the other one was the park, where even the employee of the dispensary has described various and sundry illegal activities that occur in the park. And I listened, and I imagined being a parent and selecting a daycare center for what is happening on the interior, for the warmth of the operator, for the environment, the love and the care that she's providing for children. But then you have to drop off your children and pick up your children in this environment where prostitution is going on, where drugs are being consumed in a park, where there is an encampment. And by bringing, whereas there's a liquor store where there's loitering, and now you're introducing a cannabis dispensary into a situation what could be perceived as already out of control. I understand that the citizens who complain directly to Councilmember Padilla are not going to be the same citizens who show up here. They're not going to be the same citizens that go to the store and complain. That's why there is a Councilmember Padilla, so that she can be that buffer. So I give consideration to the fact that there are voices that we are not hearing. My heart breaks in this situation because if it were me, I probably wouldn't want a cannabis dispensary in my community either, to add to all of the other social ills that are already present. Unfortunately for us as a body, we can't introduce that into our decision-making process. We can only express our empathy for those who have to live through that. And so I do want to do that today. And that is my only comment about that. With that, I will call for a motion.
Commissioner Farmby. Just 5.
Yes.
Okay. Item number 5, DCR core record number 320058. The applicant is 7030 Holdings LLC in the Missions Hill, Panorama City, North Hills Community Plan Area, Neighborhood Council, Panorama City. I'll make a motion to accept the staff's recommendation as stated in the report.
Thank you. This is President Mason. Is there a second?
It's Commissioner Bierman, a second.
Thank you, Ms. Chorizo. Please call the roll.
Commissioner Farmby, Commissioner Bierman,
Aye.
Commissioner McGovern,
Aye.
President Mason.
Aye.
The motion passes.
Thank you. This brings us to item 7, DCR core record number 320100. The applicant is Mount High Group to approve an annual license for storefront retail commercial cannabis activity located at 945 South Boyle Avenue. Mr. Vizo, are there any neighborhood council or elected office representatives on this item?
No, we did not receive any speaker card,
Yes, we do. Not from neighborhood council, but
not the neighborhood council.
I'm sorry, this is Deputy City Attorney Lewana. Could we take a brief bathroom break recess?
sure.
Thank you so much.
The time is 3:11. We are temporarily recessed. The time is 3:19 and we are reconvening. This is President Mason. I'm going to restart item 7. DCR core record number 320100. The applicant is Mount High Group to approve an annual license for storefront retail commercial cannabis activity located at 945 South Boyle Avenue. Mr. Beazle, are there any neighborhood council or elected office representatives on this item?
No, we did not receive any speaker cards.
Okay, thank you. Then at this time, we'll hear from the department staff.
Good afternoon. This is Licensing Supervisor Corey Blake presenting item number 7 for the department. DCR core record number 320100 is associated with Mount High Group. The applicant seeks an annual license for the Type 10 retail commercial cannabis activity. The business is located at 945 South Boyle Avenue in the Boyle Heights Community Plan area within Council District 14. The applicant has not yet been issued temporary approval by DCR, but is actively completing all requirements for the issuance of an annual license in accordance with LAMT Section 104.06. The applicant does not currently possess a state provisional license. The applicant is subject to requirements of LAMT Section 104.20 for the social equity program, and DCR has determined that the applicant has met the minimum equity share requirements. On or about June 27, 2025, DCR provided notice of the community meeting and Cannabis Regulation Commission meeting by mail to the owners and occupants of all property within 700 feet of the property line of the business premises. Notice was provided in accordance with the municipal code. DCR held a virtual community meeting on July 22nd, 2025, and accepted online written input through this date. During the meeting, members of the public were afforded 2 minutes each to speak about the application. One written comment was submitted that stated the business will be operated by an experienced group that has other licensed commercial cannabis locations and therefore our operators are well-versed in state and city regulations. Based on the department's analysis, the proposed project is consistent with the criteria for a Class 1 and Class 32 categorical exemption pursuant to CEQA guidelines. Since the project meets all the requirements and none of the applicable exceptions apply, it is appropriate to determine this project is categorically exempt. Therefore, DCR recommends the commission adopt the recommendations included in the staff report and approve the issuance of this annual license. That concludes the department's presentation for this item.
Thank you. Commissioners, any questions for the department? Okay, hearing none, we will move on to the applicant's presentation. I have a speaker card from Mike Sagian.
Please
Welcome
state your
back.
name
We
and you
haven't
have,
seen. Oh, I'm sorry. Go ahead.
please state your name. You'll have 10 minutes.
Hi, everybody. Mike Sagian, licensing consultant for Mount High Group. Core record number 320100. This business is located at 945 South Boyle Avenue in the Boyle Heights Community Plan area. They're doing their final touches on their build out and they're hoping to open within the next few months. They're the only tenant at the location. They have a big gated parking lot with lots of parking. They're going to have 24-hour security guards present, and they're also going to have banking. Open to any questions. Thank you.
Well, Happy New Year and welcome back. We haven't seen you in a while.
Yep, been
That
a
was
while.
brief.
Good to see everyone.
Thank you. This is President Mason. That was your briefest.
Yep, sorry.
Commissioners, any questions for the applicant's representative?
Mr. Farmacy, Happy New Year. I heard you say that you all were not open yet, but when you anticipate?
2 to 3 months. They'll probably be requesting their DCR initial inspection in the next 2 months, and then hopefully within 3 months be operating.
Got it. Thank you.
This is President Mason. At the end, the last thing that you said, they would have what? It sounded like you said banking.
Banking, yeah. lot of the retailers are still just dealing with all cash and,
Mhm.
paying DCR or Office of Finance and bulk cash, but this operating group has banking at all their locations.
Excellent, thank you. Commissioners, any other questions?
This is Commissioner McGovern. I know you said the goal is to open in the next 2 to 3 months. Can you just briefly talk about what items are outstanding in order to get to that point?
So there's not much tenant improvements needed here. They're finalizing their displays and whatnot and camera positions. And then they're gonna have to request the initial inspection from the department. And once that initial inspection is passed and they receive their provisional license from the state, at that point, they can get temporary approval and operate. So there's just few small things that will be taken care of.
Thank you.
This is Commissioner Bierman. I just had one question. You mentioned 24-hour security. So that's security even when the shop is closed up?
Yeah, so this group, they, for their shops, they keep somebody on site. So there's a visible presence at night too.
Interesting. Thank you.
Thank you. It seems like there's no other questions for you.
Well, thank you so much.
You're
I'll be
welcome.
back shortly.
Gotcha. This is President Mason. We are now on to deliberations, if any. There are no reasons to deny. Everything seems pretty straightforward. And the business isn't open yet, so there can't be any violations. Yeah. So with that being said, is there a motion?
Commissioner Farmby, item number 7. DCR core record number 320100. The applicant is Mount High Group. The business premise is located at 945 South Boyle Avenue. I move to make a motion to accept the staff's recommendation as stated.
Thank you, Commissioner Farby. Is there a second?
This is Commissioner McGovern, second.
Thank you, Commissioner McGovern. Ms. Treviso, please call the roll.
Commissioner Farmby, Commissioner McGovern,
Aye.
Commissioner Bierman,
Aye.
President Mason.
Aye.
The motion passes.
Thank you. We are on to DCR core record number 320106. The applicant is Elevate Growth Partners LLC to approve an annual license for storefront retail commercial cannabis activity located at 1524 West Florence Avenue. Mr. Beazle, are there any neighborhood council or elected office representatives on this matter?
No, we did not receive a speaker card.
Okay, then at this time, we'll hear the department's presentation.
Good afternoon. This is Licensing Supervisor Corey Blake presenting item number 8 for the department. DCR core record number 320106 is associated with Elevate Growth Partners LLC. The applicant seeks an annual license for the Type 10 retail commercial cannabis activity. The business is located at 1524 West Florence Avenue in the South Los Angeles Community Plan area from Council District 8. The applicant was issued temporary approval by DCR with an effective date of October 28, 2025. Since that time, the applicant has completed all requirements for the issuance of an annual license in accordance with LAMC Section 104.06. The applicant currently possesses an active state license to conduct retail with on-site sales, which is active through October 27, 2026. The applicant is subject to the requirements of LAMC Section 104.20 for the Social Equity Program, and DCR has determined that the applicant has met the minimum equity share requirements. On or about December 3rd, 2025, DCR provided notice of the Community Meeting and Cannabis Regulation Commission meeting by mail to all owners and occupants of all property within 700 feet of the property line of the business premises. Notice was provided in accordance with the municipal code. DCR held a virtual community meeting on December 22nd, 2025, and accepted online written input through this date. During the meeting, members of the public were afforded 2 minutes each to speak about the application. The DCR did not receive oral or written testimony for this applicant. On December 18, 2025, DCR conducted a compliance inspection at this location. No deficiencies or violations of the rules and regulations were found, and therefore a notice to correct was not issued. The licensee was notified via email on December 29th, 2025 that the compliance inspection had passed. Based on the department's analysis, the proposed project is consistent with the criteria for a Class 1 and Class 32 categorical exemption pursuant to CEQA guidelines. Since the project meets all the requirements and none of the applicable exceptions apply, it is appropriate to determine this project is categorically exempt. Therefore, DCR recommends the commission adopt the recommendations included in the staff report and approve the issuance of this annual license. And that concludes the department's presentation for this item.
This is President Mason. Thank you very much, Mr. Blake. Commissioners, are there any questions for the department staff? Okay, hearing none, we are moving on to the applicant's presentation. I do have a speaker card from Emily Hackman. And Samuel Morez. Make sure I get it right this time.
Good afternoon.
Good afternoon.
Please state your name and please state your name and you'll have 10 minutes to address the commission.
My name is Samuel Marez, M-A-R-E-Z. I'm with Elevate Growth Partners, one of the owners at Flower in the Leaf, 1525 West Florence Avenue, South LA. I've wanted to always have a dispensary all my life. Being Native American and my grandmother being a medicine woman, I've always wanted to heal and help people. So my goal in all my life is to heal, help, and make sure that we guide people in the right direction so that we could heal people in the right direction, give knowledge to people. So my basis is to give knowledge to help other people know what we should do and what they should be taking to help inflammation, help Crohn's diseases, mental illnesses. It is a plant. God made it. It's a beautiful thing. We want to get back to the community as we do and help out as much as possible, keep everything clean, and knowledge is power. So, and we give discounts, help everything we can to help the community. Now that I know there's a community a commission, I will definitely be joining that and getting involved in that also. I want to get back as much as I can to the community. I'm out every other day cleaning and doing all the area. I go a block long, making sure everything's cleaned up. Our area. We're going to paint our building so it looks really presentable. At the moment, we don't have the funds, but we will. If any other questions or anything, I can.
Thank you. This is President Mason. So you're across the street from a liquor store, am I correct?
Yes, ma'am.
And how's that going, or how do you foresee that going?
We work together with them. I talk to them every so often and see what they're doing and what we can do to help each other out. And we have no issues or problems with them or anybody else around us, really.
And how is the loitering situation?
We did have a problem beforehand, but the police have come in and helped us out. I've also drove around and found several of the illegal places around. So I've notified DCR of the illegal places around us. I've also notified the 76th precinct and the supervisor around there to let them know that these places are there. They are aware of it, but they are fundable. So they were out of funds in December. So as we go on, they're going to start closing these places. They're selling poison and we shouldn't have these places like that.
Thank you. Thank you for your activism. I don't have any other questions, commissioners. Thank you. And Emily Hackman, did you want to present?
I think Sam did a great job. This is Emily Hackman, so I'm going to let his presentation speak as is.
Thank you so much. Thank you both for being here.
Thank you.
And since there are no questions, you can return to your seats, and we're going to go into deliberations at this time.
Thank you.
Thank you. Commissioners?
To myself, Commissioner Farmacy, I don't see any issues with this applicant. There was no deficiency found from December 18th. So I don't have any questions.
This is Commissioner McGovern. I agree. Their compliance inspection was last month. They passed. It looks like we have an active and proactive owner here, which is great. So looks fine to me.
I agree, and I'll add to, this is President Mason. I agree with my colleagues, and I'll add to that. No community complaints. There seem to be no complaints about littering and consumption, so.
Just Commissioner Bierman, I second all of that. Agreed.
Alrighty then, may we have a motion?
Sure. This is Commissioner McGovern. I move for item 8, DCR core record number 320106 for the business premise located at 1524 West Florence Avenue. I move that we adopt the DCR staff recommendation as stated in their report.
Thank you, Commissioner. So second.
Commissioner Farmy, I second the motion.
Thank you, Commissioner Farnby. Ms. Treviso, please call the roll.
Commissioner McGovern,
Aye.
Commissioner Farnby, Commissioner Bierman,
Aye.
President Mason.
Aye.
The motion passes.
Thank you. We are now at item 9, DCR core record number 320097. The applicant is Mount High Retailer to approve an annual license for storefront retail commercial cannabis activity located at 2904 Hyperion Avenue. Ms. Treviso, are there any neighborhood council or elected office representatives on this item?
We did not receive a speaker card.
Okay, then thank you. We will move on to the department's presentation.
Good afternoon. This is Licensing Supervisor Corey Blake presenting item number 9 for the department. DCR core record number 320097 is associated with Mount High Retailer. The applicant seeks an annual license for the Type 10 retail commercial cannabis activity. This business is located at 2904 Hyperion Avenue in the Hollywood Community Plan area within Council District 4. The applicant has not yet been issued temporary approval by DCR, but is actively completing all requirements for the issuance of an annual license in accordance with LAMC Section 104.06. The applicant does not currently possess a state provisional license. This applicant is subject to requirements of LAMC Section 104.20. For the social equity program, and DCR has determined that the applicant has met the minimum equity share requirements. On or about December 3rd, 2025, DCR provided notice of the community meeting and Cannabis Regulation Commission meeting by mail to owners and occupants of all property within 700 feet of the property line of the business premises. Notice was provided in accordance with the municipal code. DCR held a virtual community meeting on December 22nd, 2025, and accepted online written input through the state. During the meeting, members of the public were afforded 2 minutes each to speak about the application. DCR received 1 written testimony against the application, which expressed concerns about the business's alignment with what the neighborhood needs, proximity to an elementary school, concentration of vulnerable populations, an oversaturated market, and displacement of local business with corporate takeover. Based on the department's analysis, the proposed project is consistent with the criteria for a Class 1 and Class 32 categorical exemption pursuant to CEQA guidelines. Since the project meets all the requirements and none of the applicable exceptions apply, it is appropriate to determine this project is categorically exempt. Therefore, DCR recommends the Commission adopt the recommendations included in the staff report and approve the issuance of this annual license. That concludes the department's presentation for this item.
This is President Mason. Thank you so much, Mr. Blake. Commissioners, are there any questions for the department?
Commissioner Farnby, in the community meeting, there was a concern around one person regarding the proximity close to a school. Is anything you can share with us about that?
Sure. Licensing Supervisor Corey Blake. So during the land use review of this dispensary, it was determined that the west edge of the parcel on which Ivanhoe Elementary sits is approximately 980 feet from the eastern edge of the parcel on which this applicant's business sits, and therefore the applicant's site is compliant with LAMC Section 105.02.
Thank you. Are there any other questions for Mr. Blake? Okay, hearing none, we will move on to the applicant's presentation. Mr. Sagan, you may approach.
Hello again, Mike Sagian, item 9, Mount High Retailer, DCR core number 320097. They're located at 2904 Hyperion Avenue. This location is ready to operate. They have their state license. They've passed the equity share review and the DCR initial inspection. We're hoping that the application status gets updated ASAP. They are one of 3 tenants in the shopping plaza. They've built great rapport with the other 2 tenants. They had their neighborhood liaison sign posted, which turned out to be quite helpful because the CD4 field deputy was trying to get in touch with the property owner for a while and weren't able to, but they got in touch with the business owner through the neighborhood liaison sign, and they facilitated a big trash cleanup on the side and behind the building in a gated area where tenants or public can't access. So yeah, they've done a great job cleaning it out. And they also will have 24-hour security as well as banking. And that's my presentation, and I'm open for any questions.
Thank you. This is President Mason. Commissioners, are there any questions? Okay, hearing none. You're free to go. Thank you for being here.
Thank you, guys. Bye.
This is President Mason. We are on to deliberations. This one seems like a pretty clean slate. I see no reasons for us to issue a denial. All right, I see. It seems like we have a consensus here, so can I have a motion? Don't be shy.
I can make a motion. This is item 10, DCR core record number 311. I'm sorry. Item number 9, DCR core record number 320097. The applicant is Mount High Retailer in the Hollywood Community Plan. Business premises is 2904 Hyperion Avenue. And I make a motion to adopt the recommendation by staff as described in the agenda item here.
Thank you. Is there a second?
Commissioner Farmby, I second the motion.
Thank you. Ms. Treviso, please call the roll.
Commissioner Bierman,
Aye.
Commissioner Farmby, Commissioner McGovern,
Aye.
President Mason.
Aye.
The motion passes.
Thank you. We are on to item 10. DCR core record number 311055. The applicant is San Pedro Ish LLC. Okay, to approve an annual license for storefront retail commercial cannabis activity located at 7320 South Vermont Avenue. Mr. Wiesel, are there any neighborhood council or elected office representatives on this item?
We did not receive a speaker card.
Okay, then at this time, we'll hear the staff's report.
Afternoon, this is Licensing Supervisor Corey Blake, presenting item number 10 for the department. DCR core record number 311055 is associated with San Pedro Ish LLC. The applicant seeks an annual license for the Type 10 retail commercial cannabis activity. The business is located at 7320 South Vermont Avenue in the South Los Angeles Community Plan area within Council District 8. The applicant has not yet been issued temporary approval by DCR, but is actively completing all requirements for the issuance of an annual license in accordance with LAMC Section 104.06. The applicant does not currently possess a state provisional license. This applicant is subject to requirements of LAMC Section 104.20 for the Social Equity Program, and DCR has determined that the applicant has met the minimum equity share requirements. On or about December 3rd, 2025, DCR provided notice of the community meeting and Cannabis Regulation Commission by mail to the owners and occupants of all property within 700 feet of the property line of the business premises. Notice was provided in accordance with the municipal code. DCR held a virtual community meeting on December 22nd, 2025, and accepted online written input through the state. During the meeting, members of the public were afforded 2 minutes each to speak about the application. DCR did not receive oral or written testimony for this applicant. Based on the department's analysis, the proposed project is consistent with the criteria for a Class 1 and Class 32 categorical exemption pursuant to CEQA guidelines. Since the project meets all the requirements and none of the applicable exceptions apply, it is appropriate to determine this project is categorically exempt. Therefore, DCR recommends the commission adopt the recommendations included in the staff report and approve the issuance of this annual license. That concludes the department's presentation for this item.
Thank you, Mr. Blake. Commissioners, any questions for department staff? Okay, hearing none. Thank you again. We will move on to the applicant's presentation. I do have 2 speaker cards. Prince Oyadeye and Ishma Baber. I apologize for any mispronunciations.
Good afternoon. My name is Prince Osajefu Oyadeye. I'm the compliance manager for San Pedro Ish LLC. I'm here presenting for DCR Core Record number 311055. San Pedro Ish is applying for the renewal of their annual license. This is a new location for San Pedro Ish. We did a modification. And hopefully we should be able to have this store open in the next 2 months, 3 months. We're still doing a little bit of build out. We have a virtual inspection once we finish that build out, and we should be able to get our license and be on our way and help improve the community. If there are any questions, Ishman is here. I'm here. We're more than happy to answer.
My only holdup is with the CEQA. I should have been able to receive the CEQA before I attended here, if I could have applied for my state license. This is actually a modification. I actually moved from Central and Adams. I was go global with Danny Shaker. Rent was too high. No one was helping me. So now I'm at 74th and I'm alone. I'm one of the only few social equity, 51 holder. Now I'm going to be 100% by myself. I have been running my own company. I've been struggling. I have been getting no help from anyone really financially. In December of 2024, I had a $9,000 grant money from DCR. DCR removed this money from me, okay? And because I was moving my store, and they charged me again the $9,000. After they gave it to me, then they removed it from me. Then I had to go into a credit card to pay this. I'm asking DCR to please look into this and also to return me my $9,000 to help me continue opening. Every day, there's more stores closing. I'm struggling not to go under 100%. I've been doing this. I've been in this since 2018. I ran my own store on Central and Adams for 3 years. I had 16 employees. I have accumulated over $700,000 worth of debt. Before I opened that store, I had 0 debt. My business partner, Danny Shaker, didn't put 1 dime. He was my 49% holder. And I carrying all this debt from Central and Adams to 74th in Vermont now. But I'm not running away from the debt. When I get this store open, I'm gonna catch up on the taxes and I'm gonna catch up on the debt. I'm asking DCR to please, okay, help me get this store open as soon as possible so I can start paying some of this debt and getting these taxes. This here is supposed to be an opportunity for me to get wealth for my family. It's not that. I have acquired debt. Now I'm sitting in a position that this debt is going to attach. The only thing I have to leave to my only son is the home that I bought when I was 33 years old. Now, taxes are going to be put onto this home.
This is not fair to me. I'm asking DCR, okay, to please, Michelle, please do something fast. Help me get this store open. All right. I'm making a change in this community. I'm the one out there sweeping the gutters. The city of LA does not clean these gutters. I clean the alley behind the building that I'm waiting to get open. I don't have much more to say, but I'm talking to you guys. You guys are losing. We're losing. These stores are closing. I'm telling you, I know, I'm not going to tell you to name the stores, but in the next 2 weeks, they're closing. We're losing. And there's only a few social equity people, members, that are actually running their own store without these management companies. I think there's only probably maybe about 10 or 12 of us. That's about it. So, I think we need to come together before it's too late. Thank you, guys.
Thank you. Your presentations are always very passionate. Thank you for being here and for your perseverance. You don't hold back. That's okay. No judgments here. Commissioners, any questions for the applicant? None?
Nope.
Okay, thank you so much.
Thank you.
This is President Mason. We're on to deliberations.
Commissioner Farm, you had a question for the group. Did I hear right that there was no temporary approval?
The questions for who?
I guess for anyone.
Did you hear right that what?
That there was no license, no temporary approval.
There is no temporary approval. He's in progress towards temporary approval. As he just said, there's a sequel holdup. So
Right. Yeah.
yeah. Okay. Any other questions, commissioners? Any deliberations? May I have a motion, please?
Commissioner Farmby, item number 10, DCR Court Record 311055. The applicant is San Pedro Ish LLC. The business premise is 7320 South Vermont. I make a motion to accept the staff's recommendation as stated in their report.
Commissioner Bierman, a second.
Excellent. This is President Mason. Mr. Vizo, please call the roll.
Commissioner Farmby?
Aye.
Commissioner Bierman?
Aye.
Commissioner McGovern?
Aye.
President Mason?
Aye.
The motion passes.
Thank you. We are on to item 11, DCR Core Record number 100058. The applicant is Granada Hills Discount Pharmacy to approve an annual license for storefront retail commercial cannabis activity located at 10124 Topanga Canyon Boulevard. Mr. Vizo, are there any neighborhood council or elected office representatives on this item?
No, we did not receive a speaker card.
Okay, thank you. Then at this time, we will hear the department's presentation.
Good afternoon. This is Licensing Supervisor Corey Blake presenting item number 11 for the department. DCR Core Record number 100058 is associated with Granada Hills Discount Pharmacy, Inc. The applicant seeks an annual license for their Type 10 retail commercial cannabis activity located at 10124 Topanga Canyon Boulevard in the Chatsworth Porter Ranch Community Plan Area within Council District 12. The applicant has not yet been issued temporary approval by DCR, but is actively completing all requirements for the issuance of an annual license in accordance with LAMC Section 104.06. The applicant does not currently possess a state provisional license. This applicant is not subject to the requirements of LAMC Section 104.20 for the Social Ready Program. On or about December 3rd, 2025, DCR provided notice of the community meeting and Cannabis Regulation Commission meeting by mail to the owners and occupants of all property within 700 feet of the property line of the business premises. Notice was provided in accordance with the municipal code. DCR held a virtual community meeting on December 22nd, 2025, and accepted online written input through this date. During the meeting, members of the public were afforded 2 minutes each to speak about the application. DCR did not receive oral or written testimony for this applicant. Based on the department's Analysis, the proposed project is consistent with the criteria for Class 1 and Class 32. Class 32 categorical exemption pursuant to CEQA guidelines. Since the project meets all the requirements and none of the applicable exceptions apply, it is appropriate to determine this project is categorically exempt. Therefore, DCR recommends the commission adopt the recommendations included in the staff report and approve the issuance of this annual license. That concludes the department's presentation for this item.
This is President Mason. Thank you, Mr. Blake. Commissioners, any questions for the department? Okay, hearing none, we will hear from the applicant's representative, Chris Agrios.
Good afternoon, Chair and Commission. Thank you to the staff as well for all the work on this project for us. And, my name is Chris Agrios, and I'm here to see if you guys can get us approved and move forward.
Okay. Thank you. Commissioners, any questions for the applicant?
Thanks. This is Commissioner Farmacy. Is this your first business?
No, we've since 2018 I've have a retail distribution, retail, manufacturing lab, cultivation in North Hills. We have a retail in Tarzana. So this is a third site that I'll be involved with operating.
Yeah, got it. Okay, thank you.
We've been doing it a while. We've been successful, and all our shops are doing great. And communities seem to, we've been compliant everywhere we've been at, and we're still alive. Barely.
This is Commissioner McGovern. Can you tell me just a little bit about where you are in the process, when you expect to open, and what needs to be done before then?
Yeah, we little setback this year. I lost my house in the fires last January, and I had a lot of the stuff that I was working on was just, we lost everything in the house. I worked from home, and so as I was getting this project going, so I got set back a little bit, but we're pretty much have everything done. I think we have we get our surety bond, maybe 2 other items that we have to just get done this week, and then we're finalize our state application, and then we have to do the build out still. So we have the location, we've been paying rent, but we haven't started the build out. But we've got the design done, security plan done, and yeah, we're within maybe 2 weeks from finalizing all of our paperwork for the applications, and then we can start on build out.
Okay.
Commissioners, any other questions?
Commissioner Farmacy, I have one. Do you have any illegal shops that you're aware of in the vicinity of your business?
Not that I'm aware of. I used to live there in Chatsworth. I played Little League there, and I'm trying to think of. I don't live in the area currently, but I'm not far in Woodland Hills. I don't know of any shops right there in that area. I know there's a couple. I think there's maybe one other shop that I'm even aware of in the area that's operating a licensed shop, but I don't know of any in that area personally.
Okay, thank you.
This is Commissioner Bierman. How long do you expect the build out to take?
We've got the financing already set. Plans are pretty much done. We just finalized the security plan. Same security group we've been working with since 2018 that did Kushali and Maven, and they've been working with us for a long time. So I think after we get an initial approval, I think we can get, but probably I'd say realistically 2 to 3 months. I always want to think it's sooner, but I know we're trying to rebuild my house right now. Everything's taking longer, so I'm not sure. But I don't see why I shouldn't. It's a nice little neat retail spot. It was already retail, and yeah, I don't see it taking more than 3 months.
Great, thanks.
Hopefully.
Thank you. I don't think there are any other questions. Thank you for being here.
Thank you so much as well. Appreciate you guys. Thank you.
Absolutely. This is President Mason. We are on to deliberations, if any. And it's not much to talk about when the business isn't open. Okay, hearing none. Is there a motion?
This is Commissioner McGovern for item number 11. DCR core record number 100058 for the business premises located at 10124 Topanga Canyon Boulevard. I move to adopt staff recommendations as stated in the DCR staff report.
Thank you. Is there a second?
It's Commissioner Bierman, I second.
Thank you. Mr. Beazle, please call the roll.
Commissioner McGovern,
Aye.
Commissioner Bierman,
Aye.
Commissioner Farmby, President Mason,
Aye.
the motion passes.
Thank you. This is President Mason. I'd like to reopen item 3 to request a report back. Michelle's over there chatting.
Talking with the representative from CD6. My sincere apologies, ma'am.
No worries. So item number 3 is reopened, and I wanted to request a report back. We know that there's been some schedule changes for cannabis at the federal level. And so I was searching for the department's assessment, somewhat of a forecast on how this will impact the local market. I have my own ideas. Just kind of want to benchmark my thoughts against the data and what the forecast shows.
Okay, I can do that. So report back on the president's executive order to schedule it from 1 to 3.
Yes.
And how that would impact our market.
Yes.
Done.
Awesome.
I also have a report back from Commissioner Farnby on the social equity program and et cetera. Anything else?
Any other report backs, commissioners, while the item is open? Right, then I will
Thank you.
close agenda item number 3. And the time is 4:01. Thank you all for being here. This meeting is adjourned.